What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play Seven Nights Flashpoint. If you want to skip ahead to the mission start, there are timestamps in the description below, or just hover the timeline of the video itself. There's going to be a little bit of preamble here in this one. Since we're early on in the series, I don't want to skip over anything like base building or early setup here, and so it's going to be several minutes. Right, so we are getting ready for Haven Smokeout. Now, it's worth noting that in the very beginning of the campaign, you've actually got room for more than just Haven Smokeout, right? You've got Forward Op already offered, and in fact, as time will tick forward, you'll actually be offered another mercenary, and you'll be offered your first procedurally generated mission. My recommendation, if we take a look at our roster of characters, and we just sort by their gear, right? Here's the 4 we're actually using, or the 5 we're actually using. Everyone's level 1, right? Of course, our hacker didn't go on the mission. Our Cyber Knight just spawns at level 2. But otherwise, we have a bunch of low-level mercenaries who don't have a lot of power, and of course are lacking in talent points, right? They're lacking in active abilities. And it's worth noting that Haven Smokeout is honestly relatively difficult. It comes in with high-level enemies as baseline spawns. There's a little bit of time pressure. There's just kind of a lot going on where I think this is harder than most other missions available. In fact, I think Forward Op, which is a mission that you will always spawn on, is just demonstrably easier. And I recommend basically always running this, because if it gives 100 XP and everyone is 100 XP from leveling, well, congratulations, every single person levels up when you run the mission. Another option is indeed letting a little bit of time tick forward and waiting for one of your contacts to offer you another mission. This usually, I think every single time I've played, it comes in before Haven Smokeout is actually due, and then congratulations, you now have another mission that you can run that'll give you 60 XP, which will level most of your mercenaries. If you run Forward Op plus whatever proxy mission comes in, you end up being level, you'll be level 3 just from Forward Op, you'll be level 3 here, you'll be level 2 here, you'd be level 3, you'd be level 3 based on who goes, of course, right? You can hold some people back if you don't want them, but anyway. The other thing to bring up is that when you run a mission, the mission itself takes 24 hours. And so if you want to like incredibly hyper min-max, which is really not required, but it's there for everyone who's really so inclined like I am, if you've got something due in like 6 hours, it's actually technically better to let time tick forward and then like start your next bit of the upgrade, right? Now, a couple things to bring up here is that I'm actually a little bit over capped on gear. So the maximum number of people who can run on a mission is 5, which means you only need 5 sets of armor at most. And then anything else that you have is sellable. I have a sellable set of armor, so I'm going to sell that. And then we can talk about weaponry. Okay, well, you only ever need 4 silenced pistols, because you shouldn't run a silenced pistol or a basic pistol on a loud mission. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, well, do I have a 5th one in the inventory? Yes, I do. I can always sell this. I will never have to use it. It will never matter to me. In my case, I'm playing with no consumables, so I'm, of course, going to immediately sell all the HE grenades. I'm going to sell the shock mines. These are very good, by the way. I highly recommend having them equipped and actually using them when you're playing the game out. But if that's not, legal for you, then, well, congratulations. But, yeah, these are really, really good. I think this is the best early game consumable by a lot, but I'm going to sell them. You can then make consideration around, okay, well, what other gear might I use? Okay, well, in a combat-only mission, I want to sub out these 4 basic pistols for other gear. Okay, well, what do I have in my inventory? Well, I've only got 3 replacements, but I guess it'll have to be good enough for now, so sure, that's what I've got. Again, we're going to sell most of all our stuff, so we can just get rid of all of our basic gear. And what I might consider doing is, just to get rid of this loadout ping, I might just fill my inventory anyway. Just never use them, because I'm just never going to use them. But actually, you're not going on a mission, so I'm going to take these back away from you. In fact, I'm going to take away all your gear because you're not going on a mission for me, because you're busy with legwork. I'll let you keep your armor suit, because whatever. But otherwise, yeah, we need to kind of re-equip our guys. You can go ahead and hold the silenced pistol, because you actually might go on a mission. And just to not have this thing yell at me constantly, I'm just going to fill our inventories. Technically, I would have another 8k from selling all this stuff, but whatever, right? I just want the UI to not yell at me, and so I won't use them, but I guess they're gone. And then, hey, guess what? I can sell off my first aid kits. And yeah, you can sell everything not pinned down, and now I got 50k, which is not bad, right? I've again got 2 revolvers, or 3 revolvers, and an SMG, an extra sword. I probably won't use this sword, but for now I'll hold on to it, because I guess you technically never know. It probably won't matter, but I'll leave it there the way it is. But hey, look, we've got 50k now. We can go ahead and, spend some money, get some upgrades, right? So what do I want to go for? Well, I can put in a nano scrubber. If I put in the nano scrubber, I'm allowed to upgrade my command HQ, and if I upgrade my command HQ, I can do 3 safe house tasks. So I can dig out 3 rooms or upgrade 3 rooms at a time. Now, I'm not sure how much I'm going to need that right away, since money's going to be a bit more taxed than normal in this this challenge run, since I have my my difficulty set to only earn half money from stuff. So, okay, my missions are going to pay for half, and I believe normally files as well. If I sell things from the cold storage, these also react to changing the income sliders. But it seemed like selling things like my armor might not be. It seemed like I could sell my armor for 10k, which was true in different difficulty settings as well. So it seems like selling your gear isn't affected. I didn't know that. This is new for me. Regardless, again, I expect to run forward op and level up my crew. I'm not going to be able to run Haven Smoke out with my Vanguard, so the rest of my crew will be playing. That's totally fine. That's not a complaint. So ultimately, I think what I'm thinking about is the fact that I'm going to have a hard time... I'm going to go for the nano scrubber after all, just because I just am going to. I think it's very reasonable. I'm going to start pumping and cooling here. It takes a day and a half to get that upgrade going. It's going to be in 4 days. Once this is done, I'm probably going to go in here and upgrade my power wires so that I have this upgraded here as well. This will allow me to pretty cleanly, once the nano scrubber is done, upgrade Command HQ and use that to unlock more tasks. It might be incorrect, but it's a build order I'm trying. It doesn't really matter. Ultimately, I would recommend to think kind of hard about what your first 4 buildings are, because these buildings cost 6k to dig out. These buildings cost 50k to dig out. And if you remember from the drop down of all of the buildings, most of the early game buildings only cost about 40k to build. So just digging out the bottom level costs more than a building itself, and it takes 10 days, which is about how much time a different room in and itself costs. So you generally are going to really aggressively look for, right, these things where, right, 40k, 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 20k, like there's more cheap options than there are rooms. And as soon as you're digging something out for 50k plus 40k, that's of course 90. And at that point, you're basically just paying for an expensive room instead. So it's okay to be like, actually, I'm going to use an expensive room up top, because if it's more important, it's really not any more expensive than going down here. So worth noting that as we ticked our 6 hours forward, we in fact got a bodyguard job offered by our good friend here. And so the question I have for myself is, should I run the bodyguard mission first, or should I run forward op first? Bodyguard missions can be a little bit more hectic. I actually know how tough forward op is. It's honestly pretty easy to kind of run through. Ultimately, I'm going to say let's run forward op first. The reason being is that by running it, I'm guaranteed to level up my Cyber Knight as well as my Hacker. When the bodyguard mission is only going to give around 60 XP and will not level my Cyber Knight or my Hacker, who need 100 XP, it'll only level up these 2 guys. And so in terms of getting my whole squad to 3, 2, 2, 2, and then their higher level for the bodyguard mission, seems, slightly more efficient and seems like kind of the right choice. So I will save this for grabbing the episode, or grabbing the mission next episode. Of course, the way this works is I have to talk to him in the next week and a half. And then once I've talked to him, the mission itself then has an expiration date. That'll be another, usually a week and a half. It depends on the mission type, and it depends on your contact. They can have traits and whatnot. We can dig into that real quickly here, for example. Let's just filter out people who are enemies dead and missing. So let's just talk about people who actually, we care about. We'll sort by contact type just to, make things a little bit easier to parse through. So here's the person that is indebted to us, right? Because we were kind to her, she has higher trust with us. She owes us 2 favors, which you can use to cash in on legwork or leverage and other stuff. She has a bunch of traits that, affect how she's going to work. Okay, great. Nothing too special to talk about. Here's B-Tuna. He doesn't like us very much. He's actually got a negative interaction with Mirage on our team. Oh well. Is what it is. Holds a grudge against me. Mirage is our face character. But he's uncooperative, but not an enemy. And so even if he doesn't like me very much, holds a grudge. If he's got people he needs killed, he still might ask me to do that work for him. And if we do that, the trust score will go up. But he's not going to pay me as much as the people because his trust is negative. Yeah, sure, I get that. Diego's one of our gun runners, actually pretty high trust. He's owed a personal debt by our hacker, but hey, they're pretty good friends. He's going to be trustworthy with me, so he's going to pay extra for missions. This is a new mechanic I added today. Origami Joe, another gun runner, even more trustworthy. We've got a hover truck operator. We can get certain leverage with this. We've got a moneylender. So she's got these special things like, oh, she pays more for stuff. And then various other contacts down the line. Here's Octane, of course, we're running missions for. Here's Potato, our wire ghost. They also cost us a fair bit. Cool stuff there. And of course, if we try to optimize for getting more trust on our contacts, they'll pay us more. Isn't that kind of nice? Okay, wonderful. Anyway, our base stuff is done for now, right? It's as busy as it's going to be. I have 2 tasks out of 2 tasks, so there's nothing else to do but really run a mission. Again, she's busy on legwork anyway. So let's go ahead and run forward op. Enemies are now power level 3 because of our difficulty settings, right? Add 2 and then multiply by 1.25. Well, 1.34 times 1.25 rounds up to 3. So it's power level 3. Because we're really early game, I'm not going to drop 10k in the Matrix Snoop. This is useful. Potato, our wire ghost friend, will sell us his Matrix Snoop, but I think ultimately it's not quite worth it. 10k is a decent amount of money this early on. At a certain point in time, you'll just drop this every single time. It's just very, very good. But for now, I'm just not going to bother. We'll run our 4 mercenaries. We'll double check real quick that everything looks about right. We've got our silenced pistol. We've got our assault rifle. What I could try to do is go to the store and buy a couple of scopes. Increase accuracy by 5%. Increase the max outlaw range by 2 meters. That's pretty solid. I could afford just barely one of them. I think right now, though, I want to make sure my money goes far enough that I can get my base upgrades. So the important thing is that I've got 4 silenced pistols, which are just, I think, best baseline weaponry here. Him holding a revolver is... I might actually go for the sword on one of these guys. What I'm going to do is actually have you switch out for a sword. I'm going to have you switch out for the urban assault, because you're actually one of my better gun wielders, because you have this 10% ballistic pure damage upgrade here. And so if we get into a really strong firefight, him having a decent weapon is actually pretty useful. And then the hacker's going to have a sword, which I just don't really want to be loud if I can help it. And so that allows me to do that. So I don't have like the best weaponry for if the fight kind of breaks out. In fact, I don't even have a, spare sword here. So he's just kind of stuck on this sniper rifle, which I probably won't use, but that's okay. So we're ready to go. This is the squad. We are ready to rock. We've got a gunslinger soldier, a sniper, a hacker, and my cyber knight. Let's go play forward op. All right, welcome to the mission. This is a mission tile set, or a mission type, called a raid, where we don't make any money. There is no payday. No one's... there's no direct objective. The only objective is loot all the lockboxes. 1 here, 2 there, 2 here. But there's also a matrix host we can hack and get some loot out of, and then boxes down this way as well. I find in this layout it is most efficient to run around the top right and then come back down. If you hover a matrix host, it will actually tell you what they interact with. If you hack them, you can turn off security devices, so this camera can be turned off. There's a laser gate here that can be turned off, and then there's laser gates that are sleeping, but could be turned back on later, and those can be, of course, hacked down as well. So that is something we're going to be kind of thinking about and planning around. This guard is in a pretty inopportune spot, obviously. Don't really love what you're looking at here. Oh, and actually, interesting. I didn't realize Divergents have increased vision cones. So you can see this is 22 meters, right? If I look here, and this is the edge of the vision cone, and you can see the distance is 22 meters there. If you look at this guard, this basic guard, and I say, hey, what if I... Well, okay, I can't run far enough to get that one. Is there a different guard I can do? Not really, no. Okay. Well, I guess just trust me, bro, that if we kind of compare the size of this cone to the size of this cone, Divergence can see 22 meters, this guy can only see 18. So most guards can only see 18 meters, but TIL, these ones can see farther. Anyway, let's throw down default buffs and think about where we want to go, what we want to do. Because I don't want to get spotted by this guy, right? And I want this guard to actually move and get out of the way. Now, I happen to know, for the most part, what these guard patrols actually look like, and so I'm not... what I guess I'll do is I'll throw a look ahead here to make sure this guard isn't doing anything scary. He's going to turn toward me, right? And so what I want to do, actually, is I want to run out here. And the reason I want to run out here is that I want to... There we go. I'll get right here. Actually, I should wait a little bit. So, because he's not scary, and I think this guard's not going to run any time forward, I'm actually going to delay because I have something specific I want to do, which is throw down coordinated charge to give 10% move speed to my whole squad. Because we're obviously going to have to leave this spot. And I want to make sure we can go far enough away. So I'm going to turn this camera off with packet loss with my hacker. It's gone for 2 turns, right, until the end of next turn. So as long as I get out of this cone by the end of next turn, we're fine. Then I'm just going to let the guards go ahead and have their turn, doing basically nothing. So you are just turning over, which means I can kind of hide from you decently well. You're running away, patrolling. This guy still has his turn. He's going next, so I should absolutely not spook him yet. And you're doing what I expect you to, which is run over there and then turn to the side, right? Not a problem. So now it's time to kill you, right? Of course, this guard is scary. They can see this route out here. I would have to duck to get away from that. The fact that this is yellow means it's blocked by these boxes, so if you go for a crouch, you can get there no problem. And honestly, he has one of the worst guns on the team. So what I'm actually going to do is have him go for grabbing the early loot. So I'm going to run one step forward. I'm going to duck. I'm going to get to about here, which should be out of the cone. And then he can go back to a run, and he can grab our loot. In fact, I'm going to see if I can be a little bit cheeky, and if I go there, this is probably not in range, but we'll see. Yep, not quite. There is some forgiveness on grabbing loot, and so sometimes you can get a little bit fortunate. But that's fine. We get level 3 drugs and a level 3 heal. Again, we're just going to sell these for money. Nothing too special here. So now it's time to actually kill these guys. Time to actually deal with them. So this route now is no longer spotted because his guard turned. The power of waiting, basically. And I think just, you know, having him run up here and just take the shot seems very reasonable. He's got a solid amount of action points. Just makes some decent forward progress. Yeah, looking pretty accurate. Decent damage there. Silenced pistol. Shot 1, shot 2, and shot 3. Decent damage, not quite a kill, but that's okay. We can get him out of the way next turn. Obviously not going to use the loud assault rifle. That would be very silly. So I'm going to stand up and go to... well, the first spot that makes sense, really. Let's go to here. I'll get seen. It won't matter because we'll kill him before his turn ends. He sees me. Decent chance at hitting. Not quite a guarantee. Oh, I forgot to switch my weapon, but thankfully the loudness of this gun isn't too loud. Oh, nope, you can hear it. I screwed up. Yep. I forgot to switch guns. This person heard it, and so they've just turned over like, hang on, I heard gunfire. Something is wrong. Well, I forced it into a firefight. That is a problem. That is a very meaningful problem. Now, thankfully, no one else can hear this, but that is an issue. I screwed up. All right, so the plan is now to suddenly make some new choices. My bad. All right, well, yeah. New plan coming in. I think it's actually going to be very difficult to do this correctly. I'm probably going to take some very meaningful damage as a result. So Divergents are an upgraded enemy type. They're relatively uncommon, but when they get alerted, they buff their evasion significantly. And that's that matters. I'll just say that definitely matters if they're going to have high evasion. Okay, I'm going to try to, like, there we go. I'm going to glom onto this thing here. I'm going to lower your initiative. And I guess we have a couple options here, right? So what I might want to do is just try to run away. The problem is you can see me. So, like, this guy can't really evacuate easily. I can maybe... he can get through here. Okay, so here's what's happening. We're ditching. We're going to run away. And I'm gonna go ahead and burn look ahead to even lower your initiative further. Because we need to get out of here. So how far can I get? Yeah, I can't get very far without getting seen. Okay, I'm gonna take a risk here. So what I'm gonna do is this. So guards, if they only see you for a quarter of a second, they don't actually fully register that you're in their line of sight. And so I believe how little of this area is shaded, then it's not going to be a huge problem, and it'll be okay. So the cone, right, represents they see me for a quarter of a second, and I'm out. And so she didn't get any new information. Though obviously, again, there are problems with the fact that this person just heard gunfire and is very likely to report it to the security AI, as well as investigate herself, probably. So a report of gunfire. Yep. They're sending the guard Eta to intercept, to investigate the fact that there was gunfire heard. And so who is Eta? Eta is you. So you are going to run forward on Initiative 18, which is very, very soon. And in fact, that'll probably put you right in the line of sight of this guy. And I have very little I can do about that, because I have no way of pushing him up above Initiative 11. And so suddenly he's actually really exposed. And that is a bit of a problem. Now, thankfully, we did use look ahead here. And the fact that you are still pointing forward means I really expect you to be scary to me. So I want to go far enough ahead that I'm not going to get spotted on your excursion. So by running up to here, and probably have to go a little farther actually, I'm going to run to here. By going here, I'm not getting spotted by you. No other guards but you are going. Sorry, but you are going. And you're not going to go all that far before your turn is over. You're probably going to get to here. You might even see me. But by the time you see me, you won't have any action points left. And so I am just going to wait. And we're going to see what you're going to do. So it's your turn. Right? The AA told you to act. You're walking up, and just now you saw me. But your turn is over because you're out of AP. So, of course, we have to get ready to kill this guy, because he's now seen us. He has a pending intruder spotted report, right? I'm just going to get up a little bit farther, because I want to be not seen by you in case you move of your own initiative. So even though the security AI didn't dispatch Natu, there is a chance, it appears to be fairly random, I don't know what impacts it, but this person may choose to investigate of their own free will. And that would, of course, make my life harder, because I'd get flanked by a guard who is very hard to kill. So I'm just going to run up, like, very open here. Of course, he's already alert, so there's no, like, new things to report here. He knows I'm here. You're patrolling forward, but you haven't been told by the A to do anything. And so I'm going to use some debuffs now. I'm going to make you easier to hit with marker sights. So marker sights, minus 15 evasion, means just 15% bonus chance to hit. I'm going to run one more step forward, so I'm just kind of closer to the action when it actually happens. Still only one person in earshot, so I don't want to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you. I need this guard to die, so shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. Now, one thing to note, by the way, is that this guard right here can see his corpse. So when this guy dies, he's going to be like, wait a second. I saw a guard die right before my eyes. Someone investigate. There's a problem here. Guards are dropping dead. Okay, and you're going to not choose to investigate. So you heard gunfire, and you're like, hey, I heard gunfire. But you know what? Where I'm standing is good enough. I'm not doing anything else, which is actually very reasonable. This is, it's consistent AI behavior, I guess is what I'll say. Let's drop you. Down you go. And so... Oh, he's fully alert? Wait. Really? Interesting. Okay, so I am not used to guards turning into fully alert. That is new. Normally they stay... they only go to suspicious or something. That is actually new to me today, that they act differently around seeing a corpse right in front of them. Seeing someone be killed right in front of them. So that is new. This means that he is primed for combat, and he can actually try to attack me. That is suddenly a very big deal. Thankfully, he's not going before my gunslinger, so he can try to go in and make a fight happen. But this is a new thing that I will have to deal with. This is new AI behavior. Okay, fine. One thing I'm going to do then is throw it on Strike Zone right now. So Strike Zone is a really nice damage debuff. I'm going to try to catch both guards with it if I can. This is going to be... You know, I'm just going to aim it down here, so if other guards move forward, they'll be caught in it. But I want this guy to be easier to kill because he's actually a really big threat. Thankfully, these guys both rolled higher on initiative. That is actually a huge deal. This would have been a lot harder if he wasn't... alert. Or, sorry, this would be a lot harder if I didn't have... I don't know what's actually going with that one. You know what? We're just going to stop. I don't know what I was going to say anymore. Oh, sorry. Right. If I didn't have this initiative roll be higher so that I could kill him next turn, it was going to be a lot scarier. That's what I was going for. Okay. Your roll is at a 17, though, which means if you get told by the AI to also intercept me, I'm just getting shot straight up. There's, like, no way around that one. We're just kind of in the open. I think I still want to go for this kill. Actually, I think I know what I'm going to try to do here. And it's going to be more initiative stuff. So, since you're already alert, we're just going to shoot you. And if I get lucky and I crit, it goes a lot nicer. Didn't, unfortunately, is what it is. Alright, so Cyber Knight has a turn. And the nice thing is, Emir has really good initiative. Which is helpful. And then Zach and Jonas are right here, and they could go before him, and they're definitely going before you. So I want to put somebody, probably Zach here, because he has Overwatch and Link Watch. I'm going to make sure that Zach is going early. I want Zach to go before this guy, so that if his turn comes up, I can put down an Overwatch cone. Like, if he's still by the AI to go investigate, I can put down an Overwatch cone, and that way I can prevent him from shooting at me, basically. So I'm just going to run up. This guy already knows everything, right? He's already fully alert. Just going to end the turn. In case it is a bug, I'm going to send this in. No, I think it's fine. Alright, we are still security level 0 for now. But of course, next turn, right, it's going to get harsher. Let's see. Did any guards turn suspicious? Because we didn't. Okay, so you've been turned suspicious, so you're going to be told to act because the AI told you to act. So you're suspicious. You're unaware. You're unaware. You're unaware. Okay, so as far as I can tell, only you have been sent and dispatched to go interact with me. Okay, fine. Of course, Zach has really good initiative. And because you're unaware, we know you're not moving toward me on that turn. So both these guards can be ignored because they would be suspicious if the AI talked to them. So I'm going to reload first. That way I can not have to reload in the middle and lose my focused fire buff. Pretty good damage. Pretty good damage. And pretty good damage. Thank you, Strike Zone, for the accuracy. Thank you, just baseline this guy having high accuracy on his gun overall. Pretty positive stuff. Great. He's done. And then we can let these guards simply act because they shouldn't be going towards us because they're both unaware. So we can all just delay. Yep, you're just standing still. That's just fine. Jonas can do the same. Let's wait for everyone else to move. You're going back. That's your patrol route. You are still guarding your own spot. But of course, we saw that Ohm, he has moved up, right? He's been told to act. He's still moving up towards us. In fact, I need to change one setting. I keep going to change it, but this is yeah. There's some very small bugs with enemy fast forwarding. We can cut their turns forward, but sometimes it fast forwards them so hard they don't turn in the way they're actually moving. And so to keep the guards a little bit more honest to how they're actually functioning, I'm turning that setting down a tick. So these turns take a little bit longer, but they'll hopefully behave sort of more appropriately. All right, so anyway, these guys are pretty tanky, but I'm feeling decent about going for the shots here. Chance it's decent. Outside max range kind of sucks, but this is not horrible. I think I can force enough damage here with the entire squad. 64 is not great hit chance, but it's 4 hits to kill, and we're going to be able to shoot enough that it should be fine. I'm going to have my hacker yield and let my sniper try. I want to run you up to having 3 action points, but I might actually have to run up to having only 1. Because this range is not great, right? Here's the thing. If I shoot my sniper rifle, it's really accurate, but it's really loud. And that's not ideal. If I shoot from here, though, I lose 25 accuracy, which means I'm only getting, 0.4 twice. It'll be 0.4, then 0.5, so I'm getting, like, expected value of 0.87. If I run forward to here, I'm only getting 1 shot, but I'm getting it at, 70 minus 6 from recoil, ish, so it's 0.8 EV versus 0.6 EV. Yeah, I think it's just better to shoot twice, even though it's not very accurate. Nice shot. Try again. All right. Well, it's all up to the hacker. He's got to land at least 2 shots. He's got 3 bullets in the gun. That's good. It means he's going to get 3 shots. Move him up here, which will have him with decent accuracy overall. And thankfully, someone's going before him. Just barely. We broke the tie. Ties go to me every time. And hit chance is okay-ish. It's 2/3, which means I should get 2 out of the 3. And good. Bing pot, as they say. Alrighty, so that's several guards down. Worth noting, though, that... Wait, where's his corpse? Oh, he flew, right. This corpse will expire in 2 turns. When that timer ticks down, security level will go up by 2, and someone will be sent to go investigate. We get our first security escalation. It turns on the wires. That's not ideal. I don't want that. Also turns on these cameras. Also not ideal. The camera spotted me. Yep, sad. Oh well. We've got some loot to grab. And, of course, the AI got no new information. This guy's going at the end of the turn. Everyone else looks to be not special. So we're going to basically group up. Going to grab our loot, because loot is good. And get ready to make a move into the Matrix host. But for now, it's, you know, skirt the cameras and grab loot. So let's go to there. Again, you being unaware means you're not going toward me. So I'm not worried about you. Yep, you're going back that way. And because you're, like, relatively close to me, yeah. That divergent is still just holding your spot. She heard gunfire once, heard nothing else afterwards, and decided, you know what, nothing special is going on. I'm not worried about this. I want my hacker to go for this Matrix host. Not right away, because there's lasers in the way. But we need to make forward progress so that we can grab this and start the hack. Because, of course, every turn we wait, the security goes up, and it gets, you know, more escalations, right? Laser wires turn on, things like that. So we're going to have our sniper go over here, and then he's just going to run for it. He's going to grab our loot. It's going to be seen by a camera, is what it is. That's +1 escalation, or +1 tally. Now the security AI knows more about there being more intruders. That means that a guard is probably going to be sent to my way. Go right there. And I'm actually really tempted to just sit here at the front of the gate, because I can only turn this gate off for 2 turns, right? The end of next turn. And these guys are pretty far away. And so I'm really tempted to play a little bit more patiently here and say, you know what? We'll go when we're ready. Let's just reload our guns. Let's be happy. You're patrolling over there. Yeah, you're not going to be a huge concern. I'll fast forward the turns that really don't matter, but yeah, you're going toward me, right? You're hunting. Nothing yet, but you did get halfway across here. I'm going to have you just end your turn. All right. And, yep, a bunch of pending tally now. From corpse timers mostly. We'll have Zach go here and grab some more loot. Loot box number 3. Okay. Some hacking juice and some bandages. Again, all things that we're going to simply sell because items are unusable in the challenge run. Just fine. Oh, you've been told. Yep. Security AI in your ear. You're alert. You are thankfully out of action points, but you were sent my way, and I was in the middle of nowhere. Thankfully, he was out of AP by the time he saw us, but that is not ideal. So, we got 3 agents here. I have Tactical Surge ready. Jonas does not have any of his tools up. So, the question is, yeah, you're behind hard cover, so we need to knock this laser wire down and make forward progress and actually knock this guy out. So, if you're already going to be in short range, and nothing really beats a sword, it just does more damage than the pistol. We can kind of compare really quickly. The sword does 300 damage for 2 AP. The pistol does less than half that. Yeah, sword's better, right? So, when given the option, let's go sword. One thing I am going to use is the sword's special effect. So every melee weapon has a power slice. Right now there are 3 kinds of power slices. This one is just simply 100 pure damage. Pure damage bypasses armor. There's one that will shred armor, so if they have high-end armor that's, you know, more than 30% damage reduction, we can drop that down toward 30% roughly. And if you use a blunt weapon, it will have a stun attached. It's only a 1-turn stun, but it's still useful. So I figure we're not going to use that much of the battery this game. Let's go ahead and use the power slice. Unfortunately, we only got a glancing hit here. You are guaranteed a glancing hit in melee, but if you get a glancing hit, you only deal half damage. For his last 1 AP, I might as well shoot. That was a glancing hit as well. So he's going to need some help, because this guard, if the turn ends without him dying, is going to report me. And I also forgot to use Tactical Surge first. He'll have more AP for next turn, but of course doesn't have it for this turn. I need to run away from the cover. This actually still might not be enough. Let's see. Yep, still counts as obstructed. I think I can move a little bit farther. So one thing that's worth noting is that if you are close, it's of course guaranteed if you're melee, but even with ranged weaponry, if you are close enough by, which is 5 meters or fewer, you are actually guaranteed a glancing hit. Glancing hits can do 30 to 70% of damage based on what the initial accuracy was. Like if you have a glancing hit, because you're in melee range, but your chance hit was 0, or like 2% or whatever, those glances are going to do minimum damage. If it was, you know, 85%, but you got a glancing hit, you just got unlucky, it'll do 70%. Ultimately, I got a little bit too close to in range with the assault rifle, so you could hear it. I don't want that. I don't want you to come over. So we're just going to kind of just slowly wear you down with this pistol shot. That's another glancing hit. That one is another glancing hit. I'm getting a lot of glancing hits at, 60%, but that's a real hit. And I have 1 AP left, so I guess we'll just use the entire magazine. There we go. 2 glancing and 2 regular hits. Sure, great. Good job. Finally can run my hacker across the map. Or my sniper across the map, I should say. Of course, being seen by a camera means another guard is likely sent my way. We get another escalation as well from body timers running out and cameras seeing me. The escalation is of 8 options, reducing body timers further and sending a bunch of people to intercept me. So Natu, Omni, and Kai are all being sent my way. So Kai is over there and has been woken up. He was on the other side of the map. Kato is over there. Also wasn't very useful earlier, but of course now he's going to start moving. And indeed they're sending the diversion, which is scary. Now, of note, they only know where I was, right? This guard died before he could report, so all they know about is these cameras saw me, and these body timers, well, this body timer ran out. Now, with this body timer running out this turn, that'll send a new location. You're still unaware, so I can ignore you. But there will be a new location they'll start investigating. Also, these pressure sensors will do the same thing. This creates a new location. They're going to be like, hey, someone crossed our pressure sensors, so we'll go check that out. And so it's going to start adding up, especially triggering it twice. Should reload the silenced pistol. And in fact, I should just delay and see what this guy does, where he goes. You're still hunting. You're kind of useless. I'm fine with that. They fast-forwarded Omni, who was way over there. I mean, he's nowhere close to me, right? He would never have seen me, so they'd let the one go fast-forward. But let's delay. So you are on your patrol route, and you're going to patrol right in toward me. So what I'm curious about is what your initiative roll is. And also what your next turn is going to be. So I want to look ahead you, because I'm curious. Well, I can't reach you yet, so I've got to walk a little bit forward. But if I go here, and I look ahead, what is your patrol route? Your patrol route is going back the way you came, which means I don't have to kill you. I can just chill, and it's not a problem. In fact, I can probably... Well, it's going to depend on what you're going to do next turn, but your initiative roll is 11, so even if you're going to choose to interact with me next turn, you're not going until after my whole squad gets to go. So I'm going to let this happen, and it's fine. Your turn's going to end. I guess I will save coordinated charge for a slightly different turn, maybe? Actually, you know what? I'm going to walk to here. And even though the coordinated charge on Zach is not going to be all that useful, the buff lasts 2 turns. And it allows my hacker to run up to this host a little bit faster, a little bit easier, and maybe save some action points, which I think is going to be worthwhile. So I'm going to go to here, and even though you're normally going to be walking the other way, I'm crossing through the red section for too little time for it to matter. I'm basically placing the bet that I'm not going to be actually revealed here, because I'm going to be while ducking in the line of sight for too little time. I was right. And so now I'm like pretty well tucked in a spot where if he runs forward, we're going to have an ambush. So yeah, my entire team has rolled higher on initiative. I'll pay attention to if he turns into suspicious. If he does, we go for the attack. And thanks to the movement speed, we're going to be, I think, in range to go for the Matrix host here. So 2 AP getting closer, and let's start hacking. So, welcome to hacking. Ah, darn, I didn't quite get it. Welcome to hacking the Cyber Knight's Flashpoint. So this is a Matrix host, and it starts unrevealed. We start on a terminal node every time. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 nodes. Every Matrix map is handcrafted and mostly non-random in that I've played this mission enough where I know where every node is and what they all are. These will handle security devices. This is the CPU. This is a dangerous node. You have talents here. These are learned by my hacker class. I've got hard shell and overclock. I recommend loading them both every time. You then have your default 5 programs: scan, sleaze, deception, disarm, and attack. Attack is very situational. This is for destroying ice. You often don't need to. You can often skip this step. But there are 3 kinds of protective ice, or I guess guards if you want to think of it that way, on each node. They can be passive ice, they can be active ice, or they can be traps. Traps are baseline hidden. Scan lets you see what's on the node. And so this is a firewall, which is not very special, but it's got a passive ice, and you can see it lines up with these icons here. At a baseline, I recommend loading these 2 programs and saving this for a little bit. You might not need it in a given turn. So I'm going to connect here, and I can see that I can't load programs while I'm on this node via this passive ice, which I can ignore. I don't need to load any programs while I'm here. So I can simply scan and move and say, okay, well, what's here then? It's the same thing. I can't load any programs while I'm there. Okay, fine. What's over here? Well, here's an SPU, and the SPU is the first, like, actually dangerous node, because it has active ice, which is, like, pretty normal. A lot of things can have active ice. These could have as well. But active ice is always dangerous. It will always do something to you every single turn. Passive ice is like, well, I might not need to load programs. It might not matter. In this case, it kind of would have. I would have loaded disarm here. But we can go ahead and connect and say, here's an active ice. Oh, every action will add 5 security tally. Well, I don't want that. Deception. Okay. And then I'm going to scan, and it's going to be like, hey, there's a trap here, by the way. And this trap says, if you load a program, restarts all the ice in the node. That's actually quite bad for me, because I have a lot of programs I want to load. And I'm kind of trapped here with no more scan. And these things all block program loading. And if I load disarm, this thing pops, which is annoying. And I have to re-disarm this, which I don't want to do. I will take this download for free because I can. It's just there. I get a free file. Congrats. But unfortunately, I greeded out a little bit. Don't have disarm ice. My scan ran out. I have to go all the way back here to load scan. And I'm going to go ahead and preload disarm here, just so I don't have to go back again. So, yeah, you know, I got punished for being greedy. I didn't know it was going to happen. Oh well. Anyway, welcome to the next kind of node. We get data warehouses. So, and a manufacturing store. So anything that looks like this, like a bunch of poker chips, is what I think they look like. These hold downloads. They hold beneficial stuff. So we can go connect over. It's got a passive ice that is going to block download access. Now, I happen to know, because I've just played this game a lot, that usually when a basic node like this only has 1, bigger nodes like this have 2, which means the SPU and this data warehouse are going to have 2 ice on it. And the fact that I can only see 1 from outside means there's a trap hiding in there. So I've got to scan from inside, and lo and behold, here's a trap. This trap says if you load a program, relocate. Okay, well, I'm not going to load any programs there, so it's fine. So I'm just going to get rid of you. Take a download here. We got some files there. And unfortunately, I have 4 AP sitting here that I can't use. Oh well, sucks to suck, but I can't use it. I'm not going to bother disarming this. It's useless. So let's not waste the action points. End my turn. And my first turn did a little something for me, which is nice. You are now hunting. I think you've already found that. Okay, you found that body. Okay. You are suspicious, right? Look, and because we put look ahead on, you actually know where you're headed, which is exactly towards this pressure sensor, right? Which makes total sense. Cameras got turned into high power mode, and so any cameras that are online, we can see this adds 1 heat. This is probably gonna, no, this one doesn't. That one's gonna add 1 heat. And probably what? This one and this one? Yep. All right, well, we know that you're heading my way, so we gotta kill you. Now, how greedy do I want to be? The answer is kinda. I have my entire turn going. Zach and Jonas both go before you do, so I can greed this out. I'm gonna grab the loot. Say thanks very much. I get some juice. That's another hacking drug. And I'm gonna go here and shoot at you. Actually, one thing I want to check real quick is, do I have my other buffs ready? I have marker sights up. Do I have strike zone? I probably wouldn't use strike zone if I had it. I do. Unfortunately, though, if I yield down to, yeah, if I delay down to 6 initiative, he's gonna go before me. So I don't have any way to stack my buffs in a clever way. So I'm just gonna walk out here. I'm gonna get revealed. I get debuffed. That's a minus evasion, so a future guard can deal more damage to me because they're much more likely to hit. But just shoot the guns. You are over there. You're hunting around as well. Thankfully, you're not getting behind me. You are on the way. You're hunting around as well. Thankfully, they're kind of slow. They're not going to go behind me very easily. That's just fine with me. Yeah, they're all being sent. They're all hunting vaguely in this direction. They're doing what they can. Nothing's there, but he's checking the corner in case we were hiding. Based on the fact that we've landed so many shots already, I don't think I need marker sights, so I'm just going to go for attacks here. And yeah, Zach is my best damage character. He has the 10% ballistic pure damage upgrades. You can see right here. Right, 78 base, 12 pure. Awesome stuff. He can go ahead and take a reload. We can walk him toward the exit. I guess because why not? And it's time for Amir's second turn hacking. Well, we'll grab the other one here. Take our second download. We can leave. Cool. And it's time to go for round 2. Similar stuff here. If you download a blueprint, steal 10 AP. Well, I've got to disarm that. Here's our first escalation. I took 10 damage to my actual hacker. So my hacker has lost 10 health. We hit our first security escalation. We are now at security level 1. Every time it ticks over 60 escalation, we get another escalation like you saw. Full screen, little pop-up. So we disarmed both of these trap types. We are going to take these 2 downloads and then walk over here. And you'll notice that like different nodes have different tally per action. So this one ends up being pretty docile. And it's only 1 tally per action. Kind of nice. Now, the fact that we scanned and we didn't see a nearby node means this is the CPU. So every Matrix host has a CPU. The CPU has ice on it. And the CPU requires you to destroy all the ice in order to spike the CPU. You don't absolutely have to do this, but it's pretty recommended. Disarm that. Scan for this. I can't load any programs. Now, I have to get rid of this. Well, I don't have to, but I want to. Now, you don't have to spike the CPU, right? If I do, if I spike it, which is through destroying all the ice here, I will lower security tally by 120, which means I'll loop all the way back down to 0. And then when I go back to 1, there will be no escalation. I will just, unwind it entirely. So I don't have to do anything here. But I'm going to choose to because it's illustrative, right? So I get to load my attack program. I'm going to attack this. I'm going to attack that. It's not quite going to die. Load attack again. Okay. And then you have to be scan 2 of 2 to fully get through it. So I'll load scan again. I lost deception from an escalation, but I scan it. And now I can spike the CPU. Great. We go back to security level 0. We did escalate to 2, but now we're done. And now of note, when you fully reveal the CPU, it'll actually reveal, it coin flips every single node on the map and reveals it if it comes up heads. So I flipped 4 coins. Actually, I think 5 coins. I think this would have counted. That's not true. I flipped 4 coins. It comes up head 3 times, so I know what 3 of these nodes are. I know what their outside ice is. And now because I have them already revealed, if I scan from outside, it'll now also reveal traps. Which means because of this architecture, if I scan here, I'll see my traps here. If I scan here, I'll see traps on these, but I won't see a trap here. So you get there's some extra benefit for going for these. Now this is a financial hub, so this one's going to have accounts, right? So this had files, right? It's a data warehouse, so it has files. Files can be minted into file sets. They're just worth money. They're occasionally going to upgrade into special things like a special hacking program or a special hacking mission or a new contact. This is a manufacturing store. It only ever hosts blueprints. And so you can have blueprints for new weapons, weapon mods, items. And then an account, financial hub always has accounts. The only thing you do with accounts is sell them outright. There's really not a big reason to wait. Anyway, we've got some programs to load. We've got some ice to deal with. Let's go. So yeah, prevents download access. We can, of course, use deception on you and not damage by connection. If connection health hits 0, you get dumped out. It's not a good thing. You don't want to have that happen to you. But I can deception you. And then I guess I might as well, because I have attack here anyway. I can, well, actually, it's not correct for me to use attack, because attack costs 5 AP. This costs 3 AP. And I can just unload the attack program. And, I guess the upside would be you don't have to reload sleaze, which has a little bit of upside, honestly. It will add 5 security tally, but that's not very much. So I'm going to say, let's just go for it. Nice. I didn't get unlucky. I could have low rolled on damage, but I didn't. So that's gone. I got some extra tally from killing it, but it's not a huge deal. 5 tally for passive ice is not a big deal. And so next turn, when I have action points again, I can download these accounts and feel good about it and have things that I can sell. Epic accounts are actually more valuable. They give influence, which is a progression mechanic for your contacts. So it's actually very valuable to get a bit lucky and find an epic account. Anyway, end action for turn. He's making us some money, which is nice. This guard's already dead. And there's no one back here to scare me yet, which is kind of good news. So I can run my whole team up to the front, up to the laser fence, and when given the chance, we can go for a jailbreak, grab loot box 6, 7, 8, and then evacuate right here. If we wanted to cut our losses early, we could evac right here, but we don't need to. We're chilling. All right, I'm going to keep waiting because my hacker could turn this laser gate off for me, and I wouldn't have to maybe use... actually, you know what? Here's the tough thing. It'll be fine, actually. I think it'll be fine. I was thinking about initiative order and who can turn off the laser gate, because theoretically, if I couldn't make way for Permanence to get a turn to use security scramble, I would be unable to turn this laser gate off without my team running through and taking damage. But I'll be okay around that. So we take our downloads. Great. We're going to head all the way back up now. And this now is a different passive ice, right? Prevent connection use. So I have to kill it. I can't leave otherwise. Okay, fine. I scan from the outside. I see the trap ice. Move over. What do we have? When you use a program, steal AP, damage to cyber deck when you take any action. So ultimately, I have 20 deck shield, and this is why I loaded hard shell. Because any damage to your cyber deck must be repaired for money at some point in time after a mission. There's no downside to having half health on a cyber deck, but if it runs out, you're in a really bad spot. So ideally, we want to take as little damage as possible, but I can tank this once because I've got a shield, right? This basically has no action on me at all, as long as I don't take this twice more. And because this is going to steal 10 AP, and you can see right here, also add security tally every action. Should disarm this at the start. Now I'll take down this. Now I'll take my download. Okay. I see that there are security devices. I see that there are downloads to have. And I'm going to prioritize going for the security devices, right? I'm going to prioritize going over here and saying, hey, load a program, prevent remote controls. That's easy. Okay. So which one do I want to get rid of? I don't care about that one. I'm not going through here. I don't care about number 2. I don't care about that one either. I care about number 3 because we're going through it. So let's hack number 3. Well, laser gate is down. And unlike security scramble or packet loss, which takes it down for 2 turns, this takes it down for functionally 5. It's the next 4 turns, so it's this and the next 4, which makes it very good, of course. So now I'm going to prioritize going for the downloads here. So let's go walk over here. Because we scanned from the outside, we know the trap is there. This trap is use a program, relocate, so disarm you, then get rid of that. Take our downloads. We've got a little bit left. Right, 1 active ice, 1 passive ice. I can move over. I can take down damage to connection. I don't have to go for that one, but I will. I'll take that one down. I unfortunately would need 7 more AP to sleaze this and then hack the device, but this last camera way over here, just not reachable yet. So he'll have to do it next turn. During his 4th turn hacking, he'll be done. Okay, fine. Pretty chill, pretty straightforward. If you know the basic rules of hacking, you know, you can get through there pretty reliably. Anyway, it is time to get some more stuff done. Let's go ahead and run across the map. Let's grab a loot box, and thankfully, the guards have all been sent to investigate all these corpses we dropped, right? They're actively searching. They're actively searching. They're actively searching. And so everyone has been sent to go actively search for these bodies, which means none of them are at their posts anymore, which means we have a clean shot all the way down the map. A lot more options there. Just get a ton of files overall. I'm going to be a little cautious and prioritize reloading and making sure I have, you know, all my ammo for everything. But we have a pretty clean shot at making some forward progress. Of course, not every security device is attached to a matrix host, right? As we saw, only these 3 laser wires and that camera was attached. But, oh, more cameras got turned on. Security escalation level 4, from 4 permutations, or 7 permutations, turn on 2 devices. What did they grab? Probably this camera and this camera. Yep. So now they know where my hacker is. And so at the end of this turn, the A is going to be like, hey, our cameras saw a guy here. Someone go take him down, because the camera can't shoot. But I can go ahead and wait. Let these guards do their thing. In fact, I'm going to wait until my hacker can join in so that he can be inside Tactical Surge. You are hunting. You see another corpse. That's even more escalation. You are hunting. And thankfully we can... Yeah. Thankfully you're stuck in a bad spot. You saw a corpse someone else saw, but you didn't know about that. And you are making sure that no one's against that wall. Good job, buddy. Alright, well, we have very little left to do. Sleaze that. Hack this device. The last camera that we can actually deal with is gone. Congrats, we did it. And now he's done. So with still 10 deck shield left, with only taking 10 health, which is fine for a hacker, with, you know, underwriting the matrix security down to level 2, you can see that, right, until it exceeds 2, it will not take any escalations because we underflowed it, right? We hacked the CPU. We can disconnect, and he can make his way across the map. So, yeah, go run towards the exit, buddy. I could send him here to evac right away and not join the team in this direction, I'm unsure if I want to do that or not. It's certainly a possibility. This is a valid reinforcement point is the scary thing, so he could be caught like right on top of enemy guards. That would be scary if it happened. I'm going to wait to see what this guy does in case he runs toward me. He, in fact, is. Oh, he's going back to his spot. Right, okay. So one mechanic of guards is that they will only stay away from their post for so long. After a certain number of turns, they will return back to where they were before. And that happened here. That happened with him going back. So I'm just going to use this because I want to essentially save time a little bit. So we get 2 crits here, which is pretty fortunate. Pretty lucky at 1 and 3, but we take those. And because you could be killed with one more shot, I'm going to briefly yield. Because I want to knock this camera down. I'll knock this camera down before it sees his body. Because that will at least buy me some time. Where the guards won't know that someone died here, right? So camera's gone. I'm going to have her actually grab the loot here. I think she's the best suited for it. She's like pretty close by and it's pretty reasonable overall. So here's loot box number 7. Pretty good. Some files to sell. 5k raw money. Not bad overall. I'm going to get her out of this in case there's an escalation and it turns cameras back on. I want to be not spotted. And Jonas should one-shot him, so I'm going to go down to 1 action point. And then this should work just fine. I'm probably outside 5 meters. Yeah, so I'm not going to get a guaranteed graze, but we're probably getting it. Wow, crit all 3 times. That's very, very lucky. Actually, I'm going to send something in. I feel like... I think Strike Zone gives a bugged too high amount of crit chance. Could be RNG, of course, but I feel like the Sniper's Strike Zone talent. I can't spell. Basically, across a lot of gameplay using snipers, I have felt like I crit more than I'm supposed to. Maybe I'm just silly, right? Humans are notoriously bad at actually graphing RNG, but I have felt like I am lucky constantly, and I've never felt unlucky on Strike Zone crit chance. So maybe it's a bug, maybe it's not. It doesn't really matter. Now, one downside here is my team is getting quite revealed. A camera just saw me here. I had no way around that one. The boxes are in the way. If my initial rolls are bad, you're not too close, and you're actually really far away, so most of my guys can get out, unless your roll is really, really bad. It wasn't. You're just doing random hunting, though, and you're not heading toward me, so it's fine. And that diversion couldn't reach me even if she wanted to. But next turn is security escalation, and I really want to consider just having my hacker exit right now, because this, as I said, is a very valid reinforcement point. And if he runs, he's going to get to, like, here, roughly. He's going to go down to about here. And these guys are reinforcing. He can get down to, like, here, maybe. But if they're running toward me, he's going to get caught up. Right? It's very possible he gets caught. So I'm going to have him just leave. And we're going to do the rest of this mission with only 3, which should be fine. I mean, you know, these guys are really far away. I'm running early because I don't want to have these guys, like, turn around and run into me and like, start combat. So it's just, you know, beeline for it as fast as possible. Trying to figure out... Yeah, it's going to be Cyber Knight. My Cyber Knight has the highest move speed by a lot. She has plus 22% move speed. It's quite good. No one's going to be as fast as her. Except my Vanguard will come close. But she's out on legwork. And let's put you... I don't know. That seems fine. Just have you hang out right there. I think I will just barely not be able to make it out on turn 11, but it'll be close. Okay, you're still hunting. Yep, no one's down there. Don't worry, buddy. It's safe. Yeah, they're making some slow forward progress, but yeah, we have basically given them the slip. We have cleanly ducked back into stealth. I'm going to have you just evac. There's nothing else for you to do. For fun, I'll turn this camera off. It doesn't matter literally at all. And you're just done. Alright, escalation happens. Don't know what it was. I guess I'll have to look. I think it was rebooting jammed devices, maybe. I'll have to see what it is. It should be on a text printout on the right-hand side of the screen when these guards are done. Okay, you're hunting over there. It's fine. And it was reduced body timers again. Okay, so any guard that we dropped, which is you. I guess the camera already saw it, so it's been discovered, but theoretically his body timer would be shorter. All right. I think you can stay out of the evac zone. I don't think there's a reason to keep you around. I don't even know why I reloaded. That's useless. We'll extract you. Send this Cybernet in. Actually, I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to actually wait a second. I'm going to take all. Nice, we get stuff we can sell. Man, smoke grenades are really strong, by the way. Basically, smoke grenades and shock mines, to me, are the absolute best early and mid-game consumables. They're just incredible. I recommend using them on everyone at all times, whenever you can. They're really, 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 really good. Okay, it looks like he's heading back to his spot. The Divergent, she's heading back to her spot. So she spent enough time investigating. I think he's actually going to go look for something. He's been told by the AI to go do stuff. But coordinated charge. Let's go ahead and print that 10% move speed. Boost her up to 32% move speed. And of course, easy evac here. Not a problem. You are done. And then can I make it on 32? Yes, I can. Thank you, high move speed. Had an action point to spare. And so we got all the loot, right? Not bad at all. We got all the loot. Forward op was a success. We did not get shot at. We did not get shot. We did not take damage outside of matrix escalations, which is not a big deal. And so let's go ahead and count our loot. And hey, was it good? Was it tough? It was not tough. We didn't even get shot. Well done, team. We got every bit of loot we possibly could have. We did not get shot at. And again, everyone levels up because quote-unquote story missions are worth 100 XP minimum, which is a guaranteed level. So by running around and opening up 8 lock boxes, we got quite a lot of stuff, mostly items that we can sell. In fact, it's almost all items. We got, I guess, 10k in cred chips, 15k in cred chips, and a large amount of loot that we can sell, and a couple of files. Decent stuff there. By deciding to go for the matrix host, we managed to get 3 accounts that we can sell. We got a decent number of files. Anything that is not numbered is not part of a set, so we're going to automatically sell these 3. We can start counting how much money we made raw. We got a suppressor, which I don't know if it's going to be for a sniper rifle or an assault rifle. We also got a blueprint for a nanomedical kit, but no one buys level 5 gear from us right now. So it's going to, for a while, burn a hole in our pocket as no one wants to buy high level gear. But we've got Code Block, Raise, and Code here. I think it's funny that Code and Code Block are on the same team. Okay. But everyone leveled up, and that's wonderful stuff. So, what do we make, right? Well, we got some accounts, right? So here's now everything that we own, right? We had exactly these 2. We had corporate invoices 1 and 2. And now we have all this stuff here, right? So, yeah, we already had a couple of these, but now we have a lot more that we can sell. So we have some accounts, right? All right. They get anonymized. But we made 3k from this. We can sell to anybody. I don't know if this actually matters who you sell things to. I've been told it doesn't. I know some level of interacting with your accounts, interacting with your contacts makes them more likely to sell, offer you missions. But I don't know all the mechanics of that. Ultimately, I think leveling a wire ghost and running missions for them is fairly valuable, so I'm going to do that. We have another account with a little bit more. Mongrel, of course, pays more for things, so it's 5k for everyone else, but it's 6k for Mongrel. Of course, we'll do that. And here, because we have an Epic account, it'll give 10 influence, and I want to give influence to my Wire Ghost friend, because a Wire Ghost, you can see here, sells cyberdecks and sells programs. I want better cyberdecks and better programs, and the way to get better cyberdecks, better programs, is for him to gain influence, get an influence limit break, and get some kind of extra special power. If I wanted to buy medical items, well, I'm not going to because of the challenge rules. If I wanted somebody who maybe paid more for stuff, I could upgrade these guys. Ultimately, Mongrel will always buy accounts, but so will Potato, and so he's always our guy. Here you go. Thank you. And so that was what, 6 plus 5 plus 3 or something. So not a ton of money, but we got 14k from that. We have some individual files. We can filter out ones that are only ones that are not used by a set. And look at that. This one actually is really high value. That's actually awesome. But we've got 3k from this. Can sell to anybody. We'll sell it to Potato because why not? Our pet doctor here will buy certain files if they're from corpos. So this is a McKellen file because of course we got it from hacking a McKellen base. But there's Potato sending that. We can get 7k from this one and a Q anomaly report, We can get 29k because Potato, thankfully, pays more for files, which I'm pretty happy about. We could get some more favors from a doctor friend or someone else. Ultimately, I don't think I need to. We're going to have Potato just pay us 29k and feel good about that one. So some decent money here to be made. And look at that. We had, what, like 20k, and now we're at like 90k, all from optional loot. Now, to be clear, even this early in the game, I guess we can sell this blueprint as well. This is an assault rifle barrel. We can lower the noise radius by 11 meters, and so at some point, eventually, we will be able to have weapon crafting and weapon mod crafting. This is going to be very, very, very far away. I expect to probably sell this before I would ever craft it because of how far away we're going to be from weapon mod crafting. But theoretically, right? For now, though, it's only 1k. I don't need it right now. It's not a big deal. This thing would be worth 12k, but no one's going to buy it. So don't have this right now. We've basically gotten through all the digital goods that we actually want to get through. We could probably drop down some of these corporate invoices. Ultimately, I think it's very, very unlikely we're going to get these Chemco invoices to make the full file set. But for now, it's fine. We have some research reports. We have some patient dossiers. We have some experimental or some personnel files that we only have some of them on. Generally speaking, it's worth waiting. I think it's worth waiting and trying to get the whole set. But new to you. If you need the money now, feel free. So we have some money now, right? We have 96k, which means if we were to wait and delay and let time tick forward, we could get some more of our base underway. And in fact, like this being due in 12 hours means I, kind of want to lean that direction. So we let our 12 hours tick forward. And now, because we have an open task, we can go ahead and say, yes, I would like to upgrade my power here. Spend 5k, spend 3 days, and we're going to start making our command HQ look better. And in 2 days 12, the nano scrubber will be done. In 12 hours after that, we can upgrade our command HQ and get level 2 command HQ and use that to have 3 open tasks so I can get these all done sooner. I actually don't believe this is truly correct. Keep in mind that command HQ itself takes 3 days for power and then another 4 days for this. So I'm basically spending 1 worker for 7 days to get another worker for the rest of time. If I actually need 3 workers, well, this is already done as a nano scrubber. And so I can really just, build these 3 buildings first instead and then build command HQ. Again, it probably wasn't actually worth going for it. It's something I've been trying out, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong to rush the nano scrubber, and instead you should get all the buildings that don't require scrubbing. Sims Room Detox is very good if you are taking damage. Stress is a meaningful, negative outcome. SimStream Trainers is a great way to gain XP on extra mercs who aren't running the mission. It's really, really good once your roster gets a bit bigger and you have space for that. I would probably not rush the Sim Trainer at the very, very start because there's already too much demand on your mercenaries in most cases. I think there's some value. I don't think it's bad necessarily, but it's not super urgent because you're just going to be busy. And if you are getting shot at, they're going to have downtime from injury, and you're just not going to have much time to sit in the bench. Also, getting into the bench costs stress, and that can feed back into itself. If you're willing to save and reload, the Underworld Hub is not useful for a while. This gives you bonus legwork chance. If you want to just save and reload until you win the legwork, you can just do that. And then you can ignore this entirely because it re-rolls it every time you load. But of course you don't have to do that, and you can play more Iron Man or just choose to not save scum your legworks and whatnot. And then congratulations, you can buy this pretty early. It's just fairly expensive, right? 100k is not exactly chump change, but it's not super expensive either. So hey, your choice here. I honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, actually, you know what? I kind of wish I had just rushed Underworld Hub off of 1 room and just put it down right away and boosted legwork as fast as possible, and then built out the other stuff, but, too late for that now. I am probably going to build it out here, though, and it's, even though I started cleaning this room out, and I've put in some cooling and whatnot, I'm probably going to, dig this out next, build an Underworld Hub, and, make a Sim Detox, make a Sim Trainer, and then, yeah, go into the lower level of the base afterwards. Okay, so base management for now is done. Legwork is still in flight. We've got a bodyguard mission offered, and so next episode, actually, let's do training before I forget. We should do that as well. So let's go from top to bottom. For funsies, we'll sort by gear level, now that it really matters. So our Cyber Knight. Again, I think Tactical Surge is the best talent in the game. I think it's amazing. Adding 3 initiative is fine. It's icing on the cake, but this is not why you're doing it. What you really want is +1 move point. This takes it from functionally printing 2 action points to printing 3 action points. That's very, very, very good. Taking these nodes for giant radius and minus recharge rate means you're printing 3 action points every 3 turns, which means every single merc on your team has functionally 1 more AP per turn, aka every merc is 17% stronger. That is really, really good for one talent. Yeah, it requires all the investment and the traveling and whatnot, but like that is absurd. So, highly recommend. Very, very good stuff. I think it's the strongest talent in the game. There's other things that are close to as strong, but I think it's the strongest talent in the game. My hacker, I would think about this a little bit, and there's a couple ways I can go about this. So I kind of want to go 2 points packet loss. This would allow me to pretty reliably rely on just my hacker and Cyber Knight for dealing with security devices, and I can leave my Vanguard at home and play a little bit more combat heavy with my sniper and my gunslinger using like damage buffs and more reliably like cutting through guards. I'm really inclined to play that way because I haven't played that way in a kind of a while. Doing so, though, would delay moving up towards Null Op. So I think Null Op is quite good. Null Op is basically the attack program, but for every ice in the node. Now, super early game, CPUs only have 2 ice on them, so it's not that big of a deal. And you can just simply attack the ice, and it's reasonable. It'll like cost you half a turn to go through all the program loading, but it's not that bad. But if you go for Null Op, it damages every ice in the node, and with very little investment, you can get 2 charges. Which means instead of loading the attack program and going through every single ice individually, you can just drop the entire thing by 60 to 80 HP, which means you're going to full clear the CPU in the early game. As time goes on and things get more powerful, you'll need to get the other upgrades, such as increasing the damage by 10 each time. This just adds flat 10 damage, basically, is the way the math works out here. Yeah, that comes at the cost of things like packet loss being kind of nice. These passive nodes on the way over are actually kind of nice as well. Plus 3 matrix AP is actually pretty good. I am going to ultimately go for packet loss investment. I don't think I'm going to go for things like range and cooldown. Having 25 base range already is very, very good. I would never grab this node, by the way. Grabbing plus duration is not bad. It increases it from, this and next turn to this and the next 2 turns. So, 3 turns gone versus 3 turns gone. Or 2 turns versus 3 turns gone. So it's not bad. But it depends how fast you're going to get through the zone, right? Like, it is not hard, I think, to, like, navigate around this. I guess, it can kind of betray you sometimes, but there's so many other good hacker talents that I think going here is fine, but next turn I want to go next level, go to level 3, grab this, get the extra charge of Null Op, invest down to make it cost no action points, and that way I can basically, for no frills, for no consideration at all, always clear the CPU, spike it out, and feel good about it. Anyway, he's done with his 1 point in hard shell, these 4 points of overclock. Eventually, when you start getting into larger matrix hosts, you will want the duration increase to functionally 4 turns, this and the next 3. But for a while, you don't need this. Early matrix hosts are relatively small. You don't typically need more than 3 turns, especially if you're going to null up to drop the CPU. You don't lose the extra turn, spiking that. Like, for example, right, the thing we just played, it was only 1 ice per node, and so the cost to travel around was really cheap. It still took us slightly 4 turns. We had to use the very tail end of our 4th turn to finish doing what we're doing. As hosts get stronger, they can get more nodes. They can also have more ice per node, which is going to slow down our progress, which means the need to have a turn of overclock is going to matter. For now, it's fine, but this will make hacking better, this will make hacking better, and then eventually we can go to other nodes later down the line. We go into our gunslinger soldier, who's really just a soldier with a gunslinger talent. But look at the soldier tree, and yeah, it's time to get stronger tools here. So I get 2 talent points here. I'm going to grab baseline usability of coordinated charge. I'm actually going to go down here next because what I want is this one. This is the strongest buff here, is getting +1 move point. Is a really big deal. It also is touching the cooldown node, which is very, very useful as well. And then because we're already heavily invested, and it's going to have a 2-turn duration with a 4-turn cooldown, aka 50% uptime, might as well bump the radius and take 5 move speed, 3 accuracy. This is not amazing. This is not needed. But if you're already here and it's up half the time, giving your whole team 3 accuracy and 5% move speed, half of the entire mission, is pretty worthwhile. And with how good the buff is, making sure the radius actually catches your whole team, pretty useful as well, because it's not that hard to get spread out. And then we'll start going elsewhere afterwards. We can invest them in marker sites, we can invest them in Iron Grip, we can go into the amazing savagery and recoup, which, we'll discuss in a different episode when it comes to that. Moving forward, though, I've got 2 talent points here. Now, what I could do is get Strike Zone down to a 4-turn cooldown and further buff this with another 10 crit and 5 evasion. Or we can go into J-Tac. And I think early on, getting a few, a little bit better strike zone is good, but I really, really like going into J-Tac here. And this allows me to grab this top half nodes, which is a 20% accuracy, 15 crit chance buff. I can also get a second charge. I can drop the cooldown to 4 as well. And this basically allows me to have my team fight inside of a very, very good, right? This is functionally like 25 to 30% more damage. And this is, you know, again, 10, 15% more damage. This is a really, really good amount of extra damage. Again, to my entire team. So my entire team does, you know, 30 to 40% more damage until they leave the zone. It's just really helpful in terms of clearing out enemies reliably. It's quite helpful, especially if you're going to fight more than one guard at a time, which will definitely happen. So this is my core 4 squad. They're ready to go. They're looking pretty good. And yeah, next mission, because you can see our XP, our hacker is not going to level, our cyber not going to level, but these guys are at 172 and 177, which means one more mission and they hit level 3. And so with our good friend here, Diego, offering us a new mission, we're going to run a bodyguard mission next episode. We're going to get half our squad to level 3, and then we're going to run Haven Smokeout. So I will see you next time. Bye-bye.